Our next wrestler is sophomore Cailyn Demagall, who wrestled 155 pounds for our girls team this year, as well as being one of the captains. Coming into her sophomore season, obviously, Cailyn had not only big expectations, but she definitely had a target on her back. She's coming off one of the most impressive freshman seasons you could look for from a wrestler, where she finished seventh in the state, and then over the summer qualified for Fargo Nationals in freestyle. Went down there and competed, and with some of the best in the country. So, coming in, expectations were very high, and, a lot of people were also gunning for her. And it was definitely a roller coaster season for Cailyn. Started off the year wrestling in the toughest tournament in the state. Along with Sarah Napier and Justina Hanna, she was invited to compete at the Women of Ironman tournament, where she took fifth place. She got some really good competition, wrestled some of the best girls in the country and in the state, including one that she would ultimately lose to, but then come back and beat her later on in the season, which was nice. But from then on, she got rolling, taking first place at the Mapleton Girls Tournament pretty easily, first place at the Lady Longhorn Holiday Tournament. So everything was really clicking for Cailyn. She was, so at that point too, she was a more technical wrestler than she had been. Cailyn loves her head and arm, and she's very good with it, and gets a lot of people pinned with that. But we were seeing her, transform more into a wrestler. She would still use her head and arm when needed. It was still in her back pocket if there's there, but she was hitting more, shots. She was doing more things from the bottom instead of catching opponents in rolls. She was becoming a more technically sound and complete wrestler. And then, unfortunately, as many know, tragedy struck. And Cailyn, in the middle of practice and training, she suffered a seizure. And it was bad. And, at that point, we did not know if, Cailyn would ever see the mat again. And frankly, we didn't care. I know she wanted to immediately, but it was a very scary time. Everybody, Cailyn's teammates, Cailyn's family, of course, all of us were so concerned about Cailyn, and we just wanted to, make sure she was okay health wise. Found out that, she's been actually having this her whole life, and this is the first like big one she had. So a lot of changes had to happen, and Cailyn had to go through so many testing and so much rehab and everything. And to be honest, the fact that she ever saw the mat again this season was a miracle and a testament to the the incredible tenacity of Cailyn and her incredible spirit. She did come back. It took her a while, but her target was to come back for our girls tournament, and she made it back in time. And she finished second there, and it was a great tournament. I mean, she did finish second, but she only lost to a Pennsylvania state champion, and it was a good match. Cailyn had her on the ropes a few times, so it was a good homecoming for her. It was a good match to come. It was a good tournament to come back to, and then she just kept rolling from there. She took first place at the Brunswick Girls Tournament. She took first place at the pre-regional tournament. She took second place at the regional tournament, becoming a state qualifier for the second time. And in this one, I think it was one of the one of the most humorous moments of the season. I think for Cailyn, in the semifinals, she was wrestling an opponent that she had not beaten up to this point, and this girl had Cailyn's number, and it was good matches, but this girl just had Cailyn's number, and not many girls can say that. And they got into the match, and the girl initially took Cailyn down, but that's one of the positions you don't want to be trying to out wrestle Cailyn is when she's on the bottom, because she is such a funky wrestler down there that she can catch almost anyone she wrestles. And she happened to catch her this time and got into a defensive pinning position with only a few seconds left in the period. And she was able to hold the girl down and got awarded the pin, but she didn't even realize she got the pin. She thought the period had ended. And you can see a lot of pictures that caught her at that moment where she was in absolute shock that she got the pin. And, it's one of the beauties of wrestling is when you win a match sometimes and you don't even know you won it. But it was a huge victory for her. I think it was a lot of weight off her chest to get that victory over somebody that she's had difficulties with. And to just, she doesn't have to worry about coming back and winning to qualify for the state tournament like she did last year. She automatically qualified, and she was able to just, take a big breath and relax. And then at the state tournament, Cailyn, had a pretty tough first couple of rounds, but she made it through. Like everybody at the state tournament with us, she got down in one match and had to claw her way back into it. Ironically, it was against a girl that she had beaten for her state championship back in junior high. But she found herself down in that match. It was her quarterfinal match, and she clawed her way back into the match and eventually won, earning her top 6 in the state, which is a jump from where she was last year. And I know she wanted to finish top 5 at least, but the fact that she was able to wrestle this year after what she went through and all the things that happened to her, the fact that she could wrestle, qualify for the state tournament, and still place is a testament to how tough of a girl she is and what kind of a wrestler she is. And she's only a sophomore. She did all this as a sophomore. So an amazing season for Cailyn. She had 37 wins, which was the team leader as well as the individual school record for girls. And again, she missed a large portion of that season. She missed about a month of wrestling from recovering. So, and she still was able to rack up 37 wins. Of those 37, 32 were pins, one major decision, and one decision. She had 27 takedowns, 19 total near falls, 15 reversals, and 7 escapes. Cailyn was selected as an LCWCOA All Star, and she was also selected by both the Morning Journal and the Chronicle Telegram as an All Star on their first team. Cailyn also earned Academic All Ohio, becoming one of the well, with Justina, the first set of girls to do that. They had the requirement for that was to be sophomore or older with a 3.6 ACUM GPA, which both her and Justina have way above that. So that was a first for our program for those two. She was also awarded the NWCA Academic All American. She was selected a captain by her coaches and her peers, and because of her season and how far she had went, she is voted on as the most valuable wrestler for the girls team for the second year in a row. On her career, Cailyn already has 66 wins as a sophomore, 56 of those by pin, one major decision and 2 decisions, 51 takedowns, 29 total near falls, 25 reversals, and 21 escapes. She's been a captain, a 2-time regional qualifier, a 2-time state qualifier, a 2-time state placer now, 7th as a freshman last year and 6th this year, which means she's a 2-time All Ohio. She's been a 1-time Academic All Ohio, a 1-time NWCA Academic All American, and a 2-time Most Valuable Wrestler. Big thing for Cailyn is just to, kind of figure out herself and do what's best for her and really rest. I mean, she's such an active girl. And, much like her sister Callie, she is so successful in everything she does. Right now, she's lighting it up on the track and field, I guess, track. She's placing high in almost every category she's competing in. And she's still wrestling too. She competed, for instance, down in the Viper Pit a few weekends ago. So she's still going strong. But over the summer, we've all talked about it, how we do want to see Cailyn kind of take some steps back and relax a little bit, and just make sure that her health is 100%, because when she's on, the girl is untouchable. And I think, again, broken record, but the fact that she still competed this year, and she was never 100%. She was definitely never 100% when she came back to wrestle. She really wasn't even 100% before. She was battling still injuries before all this happened, but she was never 100% after it happened. So if she takes care of herself and gets in the right, frame of mind and right body, she's going to be somebody that's going to wreck anyone that steps on the mat with her. She is such a workhorse, and she has such a motor that I don't see, when she's in that frame of mind and when she's good to go, nobody's going to stop her. So we are so excited. We're so grateful that we were able to have her back and have her healthy, most importantly. And that's the most important thing with these kids, because wrestling is great, but these kids are so important to all of us. And um, it was a major scare, but we're so glad that she came out of it. And it's just another thing that she has to fight, that in the end is going to make her a stronger person and a better person. And she took it head on. And we're so excited for the future of Cailyn and what she's going to keep doing in this sport and for our program. So Cailyn did earn her second year varsity letter this year as well. So congratulations to Cailyn Demagall, our girls MVP.